Before we begin, loosebeers.com. I am touring in 2025. Melbourne Comedy Festival starts March 29 and ends April 13. Come and see me live, loosebeers.com. Then I'm going to Sydney on May 10, then Brisbane, May 16, then Adelaide, May 30 and 31. All of these shows are filling up really quick. It's a while away, but I really would not wait. If you're a podcast listener, I want you guys to have first priority. loosebeers.com. Get your tickets. More dates announced soon. loosebeers.com to get an email when I'm on the way. Thank you so much. Enjoy the show. All right, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, welcome back to episode 374 of the Spearhead Sundays podcast. I'm your host, Lewis Spears, and the audio recorder batteries died, so I've figured out my little wireless mic and I've stuck it on top of the microphone. And if that sounds bad, I'm sorry, but I will be home tomorrow. So all future episodes will sound good. Dude, I've had such a fun time here in Perth. I almost got roped into a fucking brawl immediately as soon as I finished my shows, right? I love Perth, and one of my favorite things about Perth is just wandering around, dude. It's the best thing to do. Every single time I'm in a city, there's nothing better than just having a big fat wander, man. I highly recommend it. So I do my shows. Thank you so much to everyone who came out. I'll talk about that later because I got some funny stories. But I finished my final show, sold out, so good. And then I had a crowd work show afterwards where I did a spot at Mr. Sickent, his room, right? So I go and I do that and I do really well and then I'm in a good mood, right? And I had some Coca-Cola. I literally had one can of Coke, and I was like, "Fuck, I'm wired," because I never drink that shit. I never drink soft drinks really. I'm a very boring person. I'll have one, maybe two coffees, and other than that, it's just water, mate. That's it, right? But I had one can of Coke after this fucking gig, and then I was just like, dude, it's time to go ham, right? So I just decided to go out. I go wandering, go walking. I look for live music. I really want live music. So I'm just wandering around, and I went to Northbridge, which is kind of like in Melbourne King Street, which is where all the strip clubs are, but there's also all the nightclubs, all the bars, all the food joints. Like, it's just fucking everything all at once, and we're in Perth. So not only are all the hotspots for nightlife open and pumping, we're also in Perth, so everyone being attracted to this place is a fucking animal, right? To the point where not only is there police fucking everywhere, but I'm seeing just like security guards fucking everywhere. I'm seeing Indigenous outreach services fucking everywhere. And I bumped into like, what were they called? They were called street chaplains. So like religious people. So the cops are there to beat the shit out of you. The Indigenous helpers are there to help the Indigenous people. And then the religious people are there to clean you up and send you home after. Like, it's so chaotic that multiple volunteer organizations have decided to patrol of their own free will, right? And I like exerting my big straight white male privilege because I would just wander around that street by myself, dude. You can't do that, all right? Most men can't do that. But because I'm huge, I can just walk around. In fact, I was wearing a black T-shirt, black jeans, boots. Everyone thought I was security. Everywhere I went, everybody thought I was security, right? And that never used to happen. But now that I've put on some weight, everyone thinks I'm security. You put on a bit of shoulder mass and everyone starts treating you like you're in charge, dude. It's fucking crazy. I was at this bar, right? And I'm just sitting at the back listening to the music, and everyone who came in the door gave me the I'm sober face. Like, when you go into a club or a pub and you're trying to make eye contact with the security and be like, hey, I'm sober. I can count to 10. I'm of age. You know that face you give the bouncer? Everyone was just doing that to me. So after a certain point, I just started to go, in you go. So anyway, I'm wandering around Northbridge, and I just hear music, right? And I'm like, okay, live music. That's what I want. That's what I want. And I just walk into this bar, and it was like fucking $20 for ticketed entry, but it was really small. Like a small place had like maybe almost 200 people in there. So I'm like, okay, cool. I'll see like a little band. That'll be fun. I go in, and what was their name? I'd never heard of them before. They're like a local Perth band. It was fuck. I want to remember. I think it's on my Instagram. What was it? It's called. The band is called. It was a girl. She was really, really good. Siobhan Cochin. Siobhan. Siobhan. Siobhan Cochin. Really great. An amazing live singer. Could play the fuck out of a guitar. And her whole band was great. So I just was planning to stick around for like 2 songs and then try another place, right? But they were so good, I just stayed for their entire set. I was there till midnight, man. I got there at 10. I was there for 2 hours. It was that good. So that was awesome. And after that, though, they finish up their set, and I left straight away, and I start walking down the street, the main street in Northbridge, and it's fucking chaos, man. I walk past a dude wearing like a sequin onesie, singing over the top of like gay pop songs, but he's not singing the lyrics. He's just kind of attempting to harmonize. And I just watch all of these Perth drunkards walk past, unsure of whether to have a dance or like punch him in the back of the head. What else did I see? I saw, I saw the most fucking hectic brawl. I'm walking past this bar, right? And this is the weirdest coincidence. I'm walking past this bar, and 5 dudes just smash into me, like almost fully took me out. And I go, what the fuck's going on? 4 security guards, huge guys, are aggressively wrestling this dude to the ground, get him on the ground, fully blocked off the entire street. I'm just stuck. I can't move past them. And then I'm thinking, well, this is what I came here to see. Like, this is half the reason why I'm in Perth, is to go to Northbridge and just, have a look at the local wildlife. Right, and there's this guy, and he's pissed, and he's really big, right? The security guards are big, but he's a big boy, right? So they're all fucking wrestling him to the ground. He's fighting back. It's a huge thing, and then they eventually get him to the ground. And at first, I'm watching this, going, "Oh my god, they're going to kill him!" And then it becomes apparent that, oh no, he actually might win this thing. When you see like cops taking down someone or security guards taking down someone, there's a little part of you that's like, oh, I hope he gets away, or I hope they're not being too rough. There's a little part of you that just wants to watch, to be like, so you can be like, hey mate, settle down, right? This was one of those scenarios that within 2 seconds I was like, oh no, they need to do this. Like, this guy was fucking huge and violent. All right. So eventually they subdue him. This is all on the street, and the entire street has just stopped to watch this brawl. And let me tell you, it takes a lot to stop that street, because there is always a lot happening. It's fucking crazy there. But they wrestle him to the ground, and then he stops. And then one of the security guard goes, all right, let him up, right? And they're letting him up, and I assume they're waiting for the cops to come. It all starts to die down, and then I go, all right, cool, I'm going. And I start to walk past, because it's like lots of cars and stuff. You can't really cross the road, so I just had to wait for the chaos to end. And then it stops, and then I start to walk past, and then, dude, right as I almost get past, it fucking kicks off again. I just see the security guard go, get him to the ground. At this point, I'm like right next to the other guy. He identifies me incorrectly, but understandably, as his greatest enemy, a member of the security team. And he like lunges at me. I almost get sucked into this thing like it's a fucking Looney Tunes fight dust cloud. You see those things like hammers and hands and boxing gloves and wrenches and spanners are flying everywhere. Someone grabs you by the neck and pulls you into the cloud. It was like that, right? I get fucking pulled into this thing. I'm getting bumped back and I'm trying to jump out of the fucking way. The security guards also think I'm on their team. The guy's like lunging for me and then gets taken down by these other people. And I just have to fucking back off again and watch it end and wait for it to stop. Then finally they get him on the ground and I just take the risk and I walk on the road to go around. I'm like, fuck this. I'm going to get, I'm going to have to start throwing punches at the next time this kicks off. I don't want to be around this. I walk away, and then fellow comedian Rory Lowe sends me a picture on Instagram of me in the brawl from the security camera footage. I'm like, what the fuck is going on? I think the guy got kicked out of a comedy night. So fucking the whole time, these other comedians are watching me try to navigate this fucking brawl, and the whole thing got caught on film, and I think Rory's going to send it to me, which is so funny. Well, I don't know if I'm going to get it because he goes, I'll send it to you, but I want to do the podcast. And we've been talking about getting him on the podcast for ages. Whenever he's in Melbourne, I'm like, yeah, come on. And we just never organise it. Now I'm in Perth and he's in Perth as well. And he goes, oh, you got to get me on the podcast. I'll send you the footage. I'm like, yeah, sweet. Come over today. I leave tomorrow. And, we just haven't organised it. So I reckon me and Rory have been trying to organise an episode for fucking 2 years at this point. And every time he's in Melbourne, we're like, yeah. And every time I'm in Perth, we're like, yeah. And then we never do it. So hopefully, by 2030, we'll get Rory Lowe on the podcast and we'll be able to watch this security camera footage of me getting involved in a fucking security brawl. So that was hilarious, man. I'm trying to think. I saw so much wild shit in Northbridge. It's just the most insane place. Perth is very fun. Perth, here's what I've decided. Because I've been touring Australia for, is this a year 11? This is my 11th year touring. Wow. That's actually fucking crazy to think of. Because my first tour, was 2014. So 10 years was last year. Oh my God. That's cool, man. Wow. Anyway, this is my 11th year in Perth and my 11th year touring Australia. And after I've been here for 3 weeks now and I haven't done anything with anyone, but I've been leaving my hotel as much as I can, I've decided that Perth is the only city in Australia that didn't have its spirit absolutely fucking bent over and broken by COVID. It's thriving, dude. Everyone's just doing shit. I think a lot of people are making a lot of money here, and because the rest of the country thinks that Perth is shit, the cost of living isn't super high like other cities for young people, right? Obviously, it's still expensive to live in Perth, but like no other city can you, as a fucking 19-year-old, just start making $200,000 a year. You do have to live in a fucking mine like an animal, but you can afford to have a hobby and a place to live while also having a little bit of money to save for the future and have children, which is in this country right now fucking unheard of. Dude, you have no idea how hard it has been to keep my house. All right? I don't know what the fuck I would be doing if I didn't have one. You'd just be fucked. I have one and I'm barely holding on to it with my fucking fingernails, dude. It's getting crazy out here. Maybe I should go to the mines. Anyway, I can't see how long I've been recording for. Oh, yes, I can. All right. Cool. I don't want to go overkill or under. So Yeah, dude, Perth has just been amazing. It's been really, really great, and I'm so grateful. And this year's show is good. It's really good. I don't know. I'm always like this though. I was nervous about the show, but after running it a couple of times in Perth, I was like, oh yeah, this is hot. I've got a great show, and man, I had so many people come to the show this year in Perth. Last year was the biggest year I ever had in Perth. This year, more than doubled how many tickets we sold. It's twice as big. So I think this tour is like sizing up to be fucking huge, which is so cool. And man, so many people came back, which is awesome. I love a return audience because that's why I write a new show every year. But most people had never seen me before. So like we're really growing this thing. I was thinking about this the other day. I was writing this. I think that, man, I really think I blow up this year, hey. I think that I'm finally like in a great position with my health and like where I am mentally and spiritually. I feel like I've made all of these mistakes and learned from them. I'm healthy, and I have been for a long time. I write in my journal every night, like a couple lines, and I can see the previous year's entry on the same date. And I've like every time I read it, I'm like, dude, I was like still sick last year. Like I was still recovering. I had braces. You know, I still haven't had my braces off for a year. I didn't get them off till April, I think, or May. I think it was April I got them off. So like I haven't really been finished with this thing for a year yet. And last year was all about putting out fires and just fucking making short-term money to like, I need to make money by any means necessary so that I don't lose the house, so that I can pay my medical bills, all this bullshit, right? Get out of debt, right? Now, you know, I'm not fucking killing it, but it's not an emergency anymore. I can make these like longer-term decisions that, you know, are not necessarily about money, but are about my career and my dreams and where I want to go. And like every single platform is growing. The podcast, Keelan and I were talking about this just yesterday, I think. It's the biggest it's ever been, which is so cool. It's huge on Spotify. It's huge on YouTube. All the episodes are going up monetized. The Patreon is growing every single week, which is great. And I'm doing the episodes and people are really enjoying the Patreon exclusive episodes. And fucking Instagram, I think I did almost 10 million views last month in the last 30 days. YouTube, I'm doing millions. It's like, it's working. And I think that if I can keep this up for a year, which I really think that I can, because I don't, you know, I've been touring. I've been in a hotel, haven't been home for almost a month, haven't missed a podcast episode, haven't missed a Patreon episode, been uploading the YouTube and the Shorts platforms and filming all of the shows. I haven't had time to edit the clips, but that will come as Patreon grows and I can outsource this stuff. I think this is the year, man. I think that if you were here now, if you're here now, I think you're early. If you were here before I had a chin, you're an OG, and like you are so not a shallow person. Because all I had was personality and humor. Like if you were here pre-chin, you really liked me because post-chin, I don't know if I've gotten considerably funnier, but I have gotten considerably bigger. And that says a lot about all you new fucks, all right? You shallow. You just like me because I'm hot now. I'm so excited to get home, dude, because sitting in my letterbox, well, in my fridge, I got someone to take it out of the letterbox, is my Magic Mind. I've actually been missing it so much when I'm here in Perth. I haven't had access to it, and I've noticed the difference. Magic Mind is a sponsor of the show. I've got a discount link for you at magicmind.com/LouSpearsJan. It is a mental clarity shot. It is a little vial of goodness that genuinely helps me so much with my focus. It it gives me like an ability to just fucking lock in and complete tasks, whether it's writing, reading, editing, I don't know, it just helps me focus so much, and so many other people have talked about how helpful it is. Keelan loves it. He's made me promise that I'm going to save him some bottles, which I'm really upset about, but I will do that. I really, really, really like it. They are really focusing on mental wealth at the moment, and what else do we have here? Please don't read verbatim. This is for you to pick and choose whatever you need and you think resonates with your audience. Okay, well, I would say that focus, clarity, a sharper mind, less stress, clean energy. All these things are true, man. I'm messing around. I'm having fun with the ad reads, but genuinely, this Magic Mind stuff works. It helps me heaps. If they weren't a sponsor of the show, I would still be saying this anyway. It's been really, really great for me. I'm so super sensitive to how things affect my ability to focus and my wakefulness, my mood stability, all these things like that, and also my sleep and my awareness, everything to do with like mental clarity. Basically, I'm super sensitive to ever since I lost the ability to sleep well and to focus and then gained it back. Now I really notice. And Magic Mind just makes such a really, really, really big difference for me that I think you should try it. If you are on the fence, go over to magicmind.com/loosespearsjan, read through the website. They've got a bunch of interesting info, studies, things like that, other testimonials, and you also get a discount. What's the discount? 45% off the Magic Mind bundle with my custom link, magicmind.com/loosespearsjan. They sponsor the show. I really love it. I use it every day when I'm at home. I miss it so much. I feel like pure shit. Just want some magicmind.com/loosespearsjan. Anyway, back to the show. Yeah, so what I'm saying is I'm just feeling very grateful in this moment, and I'm feeling like really excited and hopeful for the future. And I don't know, I guess just proud of us, because for so long, I had people that had so much faith in me, and I just wasn't able to really deliver. Or if I was doing it, it would last for 3 weeks or 2 months max. And then it'd be like, all right, that's, it'd be sprints and then stopping. Now, dude, with the way that I feel and the way that I understand myself more and my art and where to put my energy, like I've really been thinking about economy of effort and just putting effort into things that I genuinely love, that genuinely serve like the mission and the goal and what we're trying to do, and what I'm building with the help of you. And it's great. And I think it's working. And I think that, God forbid, as long as I can keep it going and nothing happens, which I'm quite used to the point where I'm like almost expecting. I'm like, fuck, things have been going well for like 6 months. Where's the emergency that's going to ruin everything? But I think that that's not going to happen anymore. Fingers crossed. Yeah, I think that if I can just keep this up, it's next year is going to be we're going to be in a very different place, and that's why I'm so grateful to you, and why I'm having such a sentimental moment. Because, man, last year I was like, I can't believe so many people saw me in Perth. This year we more than doubled that. So I don't know where we're going to be in 2026, but I'm fucking enjoying this year and this moment now and trying to appreciate it and be present and be like, fuck, that was great. Meeting everybody after the shows, hearing such amazing feedback. It's wild, like, having people come and like show me photos of like them when they're fucking 17 and me when I'm like, when I look like a Holocaust survivor with no chin who hasn't slept for months, and just people who have been seeing me for like 5, 6, 7 years in a row, more even. I'm very grateful for you, and I just think that it's working and it's happening, and the things that are growing, I'm happy, and I want to be doing them for a really long time. Like, one really exciting thing is, I fly back tomorrow morning, and then that week I've got a meeting with an immigration lawyer. We're going to start talking about, all right, how do we get over to the States? Because you guys know that's my fucking goal, man. I want to be living as a comedian in America. Like, I want to be doing club sets. I want to, I could not think of anything cooler than selling out a small comedy club in a state that I've never heard of in a shithole town. Like, that is so cool to me. Like, fuck, dude. Imagine filling a club in Denver. Now, I don't even know if Denver is a shithole town or not. That's just one of the few American cities that I know. Let's be real, though. Like, I gotta hurry up with this shit because they're gonna close that fucking border. I need to speed up. All right. As soon as I meet with my immigration lawyer, I'm gonna be like, let's get it done. Let's get this application processed fucking right now. Okay. While Trump is focused on the Browns, let's get me in there before he shuts it off to everyone. No, I have always said and have always believed that President Donald Trump is perfect and can do no wrong. As an aspiring immigrant, I agree with everything that he's ever done and said. I might have to delete a few tweets. I don't know. I think I'm eligible. It's such a weird thing to go for the visa. I've just been talking to ChatGPT about the whole process, and it's so complicated and so fucking expensive. It makes me understand why people just jump the fence. Like, I have to do it properly because I have to take a plane to get there. But if I live next door, I'd be like, fuck, dude, I reckon I'm just gonna walk in and roll the dice. No, that's only something that you can do when you don't have a big Instagram. Could you imagine being an illegal immigrant while fucking live streaming? You can't be doing that shit. I don't know. Man, how crazy would it be if we could do American shows this year? I don't think that could happen, but I definitely am going to go there. I've got a trip that I'm tentatively planning for July. I want to go to New York and Austin, because those are the two comedy meccas at the moment. Last time I went, it was New York and LA, and even before LA fucking burnt down, it was not the place for comedy anymore. I think I was there in 2019. That was the last year for comedy in LA. Now it's Austin, Texas, and New York, man. I think that, in the world where I get the visa, where I have unlimited budget, where I can live wherever I want, I feel like I know that Austin, Texas is the place where I should move for my career. But I just think that New York, Austin, Texas is probably better for me as a comedian and my career. New York, I feel, would be so much better for me as a human being and how I would like to live my life. So I'm so torn on those two places of where I would like to live, because like pretty much every part of my career brain is like, come on, Austin is where you should be. Like, it's the new scene, it's where all the young people are, it's where the next Bill Burr is going to come from, is some kid who blew up there, like some kid who's 25 and lives there now and is like pretty good at stand-up is going to take over the world from Austin, right? And maybe that could be me, right? But New York has good pizza. So, I don't know, man. I'm probably thinking too far ahead. I'm just trying to enjoy where I'm at now and focus on moving forward. And trying not to get fucking roped into brawls. I felt like watching those security guards try and restrain that guy. I felt like Looney Tunes, some like giant walking stick cane thing would come out of their brawl and pull me into it like a cartoon. You know when they pull them off stage? I felt like that was going to happen to me, but I get pulled into the fucking brawl. I got to stop wearing all black out. Dude, I'm telling you, ever since I put on some shoulder mass, people just think that I'm security. Even at the gig that I did last night, right? I'm waiting outside the door because there's no room to stand in the performance venue. Fucking everybody walking past to get to the bar looks at me and goes, "Hey, mate, I'm not security." That's the thing, dude. Like the way that I dress, you either think that I'm security or you think that I'm gay. Like that's all that I'm getting. Like, you know, and you know what it is? It depends on the time of day you see me, right? At nighttime, I'm security. Daytime, I'm gay. That's the perception of strangers. Just like last night, everyone was like, "This guy's security. I need to show him my ID." When I was at this music venue, it was like 11:30. They closed at midnight. When it hit about 11:40, they shut the door and put a close sign up. But people kept coming in and looking at me, asking if they could come in. I just started saying, "No, we're closed." Right? So nighttime, I'm security. But just this morning, I go to a cafe, right? Best cafe in Perth, Finn's, right? I go in there and cafe owner knows me. He goes, "Oh, there's another Melbourne guy here." So, you know, I'm waiting for my coffee, sitting next to the Melbourne guy. We kind of talk about Melbourne and how we're both wanky coffee snobs. That's why we both ended up at this amazing cafe in Perth. He is obviously a gay dude. He 3 different times in a row tries to feel out whether or not I'm gay, because I'm here for Perth Fringe, and Fringe is in Perth is mostly not comedy. It's not like the comedy festival in Melbourne. It's like drag shows and camp gay shows and magicians and circus acts and ventriloquists and like any performance art that doesn't fit into a category. It's Fringe, right? It's a fringe arts festival. So he just takes one look at me and just assumes I'm gay. Right, so I go, "I'm here for Fringe," and he goes, "Oh yeah, are you doing? You're in what did he say? Something like you're in queer media or queer performance art." I'm like, "No, I'm in straight performance art, mate." So, lovely guy, and you know what? Look at what I'm wearing. Can you really blame the dude? You know, like I wear this into a fucking, and I'm from Melbourne, and I walk into a snobby. Well, not a snobby. I walk into like a nice coffee place wearing this fit. My fucking women's jewelry on and my hair done and my fucking Prada AirPods case. Like I'm very aware that I look like I suck a mean cock. I don't. And I'm also not security. So basically, whether it's here's what I'm realizing, whether it's day or night, everyone can agree that I look like I hold men down. Oh, that's funny. So yeah, dude, I'm just I'm loving what's happening right now, and I'm feeling very hopeful and excited for the future, man. Dude, have you seen America's going crazy right now? I feel like watching what Donald Trump is doing and the Republicans are doing in America, watching that all happen has really just made me go, the Democrats are absolutely fucking useless. And they just do nothing. Like their goal is to win the election and then just fucking have a sit and talk about progressive shit and talk about positive change and then just do nothing. And then be like, "Oh, the Republicans are stopping us from doing anything." Dude, whether you agree with the policies or not, Republicans get shit done, you know? Democrats, they just go, "We're going to do this, this, this," when we get elected, and then they just sit there and do nothing and go, "Oh, you know, we really wanted to, but maybe if you elect us again, you know, We'll get you some human rights and maybe a livable wage. Whereas Republicans, they get voted in, and it's like, all right, day one, yeah, if your name is Miguel, you're getting shot. Executive order. And they fucking make it happen. You know, they're go-getters. They get shit done. You know, pretty much everything that Trump was saying that he was going to do, he is doing. Now, I, of course, am not talking about lowering the cost of eggs, but, you know, seeing the sweeping changes that they're making to the government straight away that happen immediately after the decision is made, like, I don't agree with fucking most of these decisions, but they're getting done, and it kind of exposes the Dems as fucking useless. Like, how the fuck can Trump do these things that, like, a significant portion of the country think is, like, inhumane and horrific, but Dems can't do something like, oh yeah, we're going to lower the cost of, you know, medicine slightly. You know, like, maybe it's just like a fundamental flaw in the American system. It's much easier to be cruel than be kind. I don't know. I just think that I think that the Dems are, like, completely captured by just old people who, it reminds me a lot of, like, the media industry in Australia, where seemingly my outsider view of American politics and the Democratic Party is like, all most people in the Democratic Party want is to not lose their job and to either maintain the position they have or move slightly upward without necessarily being in charge of anything, is like the vibe that I get. And that's the same as the Australian media industry. And, like, in Australia, you know, with the media industry, this manifests in, like, no one takes any risks, no one tries any new ideas, no one gives a shot to the young guy or girl, and no one wants to try anything different or new or break the mold or innovate in any way, because if it doesn't work, you know, they're worried about getting in trouble or losing the position that they have, which they've worked their entire life to get, by not taking any risks, not rocking the boat, by playing the game perfectly so that someone will give you a job after the person who had it before you either tried something new and got fired for it or got so old that they retired, right? And this results in nothing changing. The only people that are making any money are the fucking people in these positions, right? In media, it's the fucking executives and the producers. In politics, it's the politicians, right? And nothing changes, and nothing changes, and nothing changes. And then the people in Australia with the media, it's like the viewer, they just disengage completely and check out, and they go, oh, these people aren't doing anything for us. They're just, like, rubbing each other on the back and shaking each other's hands and doing favors for mates and giving mates jobs and opportunities. Meanwhile, what they should be doing, which in the case of media is entertaining people and fostering Australian talent, instead of doing that, but in politicians' case, it's like making sure that everyone can live a really happy, successful life and be able to afford food and their bills and children. Instead of doing any of that, they're just focused on maintaining their jobs, and the way that they do that is by doing favors for friends and not rocking the boat or taking any risks. And, you know, in the Australian media industry, that means that I don't get a TV show, or if I do get an opportunity, it's I'll never progress. No one under fucking 35 gets a shot. And the only people getting TV shows and radio shows are the people who have been getting TV shows and radio shows for the last 20 years, literally. Literally, the people that I have seen the most on television are the people that I have seen the most on television when I was 10 years old. That's crazy, right? Same is true, is seemingly true of the Democratic Party. I mean, you look at Bernie Sanders. He would have trashed Trump twice, I reckon. I reckon he would have absolutely fucking ragdolled Trump. But he has too many ideas, ideas that would change the way that the Dems operate and the way that they decide to help people, which is not very much at all. They're like, hey, we know that you, if you're one small medical emergency away from ending up on the fucking street, but, it's fine that you're gay. It's just, oh, yeah. Look, I'm sure you would love healthcare, and I'm sure you would love this foreign war to stop. But here's a drag queen at the White House. Like, are we doing anything for people? Or are we just doing shit for social media points? If you were putting drag queens in the White House in the 1960s, I'd be like, fuck, good on you. That's progressive. Doing it now is like, dude, they're in fucking libraries doing strip shows for kids, brother. Who cares? It's not transgressive at all. It's not progressive at all. And then, for fucking 4 years, we've had to watch Joe Biden's brain fucking melt in real time on TV. Him fucking hobbling around and wandering around lost and confused, while the entire Democratic Party is like, no, he's fine, better than ever, sharper than ever. His brain's falling out of his fucking head during a debate. They don't give the people that supported the Dems the choice of their nominee. They go with Kamala Harris. She completely fucks it up. They lose. And I think they honestly would have preferred to lose than win with Bernie, because winning with Bernie would mean sweeping change to their party, which it needs, and sweeping change to America, which it needs, which would probably result in a lot of their donors and political buddies losing a lot of power and money and influence, which again, America needs. And now, after saying for fucking 4 years, oh yeah, we're working on a ceasefire, and I don't, we're not really prepared to call it a genocide, and we don't think that anything too bad is happening, and we're not happy about all those hospitals blowing up, but if they're gonna do it, we will keep sending them the missiles to do so. Fucking Trump comes in and within fucking 5 days of him winning the election, all of a sudden a ceasefire is met. It's like. And then Trump comes in and just starts, all right, we're deporting these people, we're doing this, we're doing that. And whether or not you agree with all these decisions that are being made, the decisions are being made. That's fucking unbelievable when in comparison to what the Dems have done, which is fucking nothing. It's such an interesting time for America. And that's all that I'm seeing on X, on Twitter, currently known as X, is just people who voted Dems being like, holy shit, they did nothing with their 4 years. They just fucking sat there and told us that they couldn't do anything because the Republicans wouldn't help or whatever. Meanwhile, Trump comes in and just starts doing shit and making shit happen. And again, it's not a comment on whether the decisions are good. It just kind of shows that, if you really wanted something to happen, you could make it happen. But yeah, it is, I don't know, a lot of it is fucking pretty concerning though. You see that helicopter fucking plane crash that was caused, according to Trump, by woke DEI? Oh man, if this wasn't so horrific, it'd be a lot funnier. But fuck man, there is something quite funny about, an entire plane of people dying in a military training exercise because some helicopter pilot fucked up or the air traffic controller fucked up or whatever. And then the president getting on like your uncle who watches Fox News and being like, yeah, I don't know how it happened, but someone was gay. But I know that either someone was gay, brown, or a woman. And unfortunately, he fucking crushed it because one of the pilots has been revealed to be a woman. Oh, man. You're going to feel like, you know that every single Republican commentator and news pundit breathed a huge sigh of relief when they saw a woman's name on the casualty list of the helicopter. They're like, oh, thank fuck. If it was just like, because remember they said that I saw first there was like, oh, it's a trans pilot. There's a trans pilot. They had a fucking trans pilot who wasn't qualified properly flying this helicopter, and that's why they killed all those poor passengers, because an unqualified trans helicopter pilot was flying the damn helicopter. And that goes super viral. Everyone's like, DEI, woke DEI. And then that trans pilot was like, yeah, no, guys, I'm alive. I'm here. Here's a video of me. I wasn't fucking piloting that thing, dude. Also, I'm not a pilot. I just sit in the helicopter. I shoot the guns or load the ammunition or whatever the fuck. I'm not flying helicopters. All right? I tuck my dick between my legs and I sit in the back. So I bet everyone was fucking nervous. I bet even Trump was like, shit. Fuck, maybe I jumped the gun on the woke pilot thing. And then I reckon borderline I've seen celebrating at the fact when they saw, yes, a female pilot. Let's fucking go. Simultaneously, 50% of America breathed a sigh of relief and let out a groan of disappointment. Left-wing people were like, oh, fuck, there was a woman pilot. Right-wing people are like, yes, woman pilot. Meanwhile, no one's looking at why this actually fucking happened. It's just like identity politics shit. It's fucking wild, man. God bless America. I can't wait to live there. I really feel like I feel like I'm coming in. I don't know if anyone's ever. You know what I'm doing? I'm like attending. Every now and then when you're in high school, there's one house party that just is remembered forever, that is talked about for months after it happens, like the party. And like the first 6 hours of the party, from like 8 p.m. to, the first 4 hours, right? From 8 p.m. to midnight, the fucking best party ever. People are having fun. People are having drinks. Like, people are getting laid for the first time. It's all consensual. People are having a fucking awesome night. Someone pulls out a bag of amazing Coke, and everyone's doing lines, and like it's really pure stuff, and like everyone's having the best time. The music is great. The DJ's fucking killing it. Everyone's getting along. And then right after it hits midnight, right, someone falls down the stairs. And everyone goes, oh, fuck, that's a bad omen. People start getting too drunk, start throwing up. Someone pulls out a bag of bad drugs. Someone overdoses. Another hour goes by, there's been a fatality. The party's still going because they don't know that the person who got carted away in an ambulance died on the way to the hospital. Right? It's 2 a.m. now. It's about to get really fucked up. That's when I arrive at the house party, with my drinks being like, all right, I'm ready to have a good night. And it's just like it peaked and it's starting to decline. And from 2 a.m. to 4 a.m., it's going to end in a lot of cops. I feel like I'm arriving at 2 a.m. to the legendary house party that started off amazing but went really wrong. And I'm arriving at 2 a.m. at the house party. That's, me talking to immigration lawyers now is like, all right, I want to be there for the end. I want to see how this movie finishes. That's what I feel like, man. Anyway, can't wait. Can't wait to see how the season finale ends. I'm just glad that I'm the right color. You know, as someone who's trying to be like an immigrant, I'm just glad that I'm the right color, dude. If I was fucking brown, I'd be like, dude, I think my dream might be over. I don't know if I'm getting in here. You know, thank God my last name has one syllable. If I had 3 syllables in my last name, I'd be like, shit, maybe I should become a magician in Canada or something. Did you see Speed on the WWE, the Royal Rumble? They got I Show Speed on there and Logan Paul, and I think this is cool. I think Logan Paul on the WWE is cool. I love that they're just like leaning into him being a heel, like a villain that everyone's booing, and he's, you know, playing it up and being like the bad guy and being a piece of shit. I think that's so cool. I love that, and he's really good. He's a super athletic guy, doing all the flips and all the stunts and everything. Like, seems like all the other wrestlers really respect him as a wrestler, which is really cool. I love that. I think it's good for WWE. I think it's good for YouTube, which I think is good for me. I love it. It's great. Awesome. I don't know if you saw that clip of Speed. They got him to live stream during the Royal Rumble backstage and even got him in the ring, right? You see that clip of a wrestler tackling him? Let me pull this up. I need to know the wrestler's name. I retweeted it, man. I'm not a very big wrestling fan. I've got a lot of respect for the art form, and mainly because Rhea Ripley is so hot that it's made me go, you know what, this is a great sport. I'm not a fan of WWE, and then I see like a 7-second video of Rhea Ripley submitting someone, and I'm like, I think this, not only is it the best form of entertainment in the world, I think it's all real, and I'm sucked into the storylines. The only thing I know about the WWE is like the guy that used to eat worms. Like, man, that must be like 15 or 20 years ago on TV. He was always eating worms. What was his name? Like I can't remember what his name was, but he would always be eating like fucking, like I'd turn on TV and this like terrifying looking man with 40 worms hanging out of his mouth was just on that, and that was his thing. He would just eat worms every day, wrestling. And that was on TV. And now I know that the matches that you see on TV, that's only some of the matches. Like, the WWE is a huge touring organization, and they don't film all the matches, I believe, or only the big ones are the ones that someone in Australia would see. So now I think about that guy, he must have been eating worms like every night for fucking a decade before he made it onto the WWE. Was he traveling with his worms? You know? Because I think about that with my job. The reason why I'm using this microphone, I'm sorry if it sounds bad, was because I forgot my batteries. Could you imagine if I was the guy that fucking ate worms and I forgot my worms? How do you travel? You can't travel with worms. They're alive. Every city you go to, you got to buy worms and keep them alive? What a head fuck. What if you can't find worms? What if you find worms, you buy them, they die before it's time to... Also, I feel like this is a bit of an ethical question. What about the poor little wormies? What was I talking about? Oh, Rhea Ripley is so hot. She's so hot, dude. I love that heaps. Anyway, I got so distracted by the guy who eats worms. Oh, and then Umaga. That's the other guy. And Umaga. Anyway, this video of Speed, he's in the WWE ring, and this wrestler I'd never heard of, Bron Breakker, lives up to his fucking name. Speed does a backflip. Bron Breakker behind him runs from one end of the ring, bounces off the what are they called? The elastic? The ropes. Bounces off the ropes, runs to the other end, bounces off the ropes, and then full speed, spear tackles Speed. And like, Normally when I see people who are not wrestlers get into the ring, the wrestlers really look after them and throw them around in a super safe way. Bro, I don't think I've seen a more brutal spear tackle in fucking rugby in Australia, dude. This guy looks like he's fucking 200 kilos. He hits Speed, who looks maybe, I don't know, 80. Like fucking full force in the chest, like up, like not down around the hips where you're a bit soft. It looks like he like full on rams his shoulder in the guy's solar plexus. Hits the fucking mat. Speed is obviously really fucking hurt. And the guy stands over him like this and then throws him into a table. The table looked a lot safer. The spear tackle, I'd be like, fuck, can I sue for that? I thought I was just doing a little backflip cameo. If I was Speed, if you watch the footage, he's got fucking whiplash, man. Holy shit. It's so fucking brutal. But you know what, though? It reminds me of, like, whenever I see someone who's, like, big on TikTok or like some YouTuber, they do a show and they call it stand-up comedy, but they haven't written anything. It's just more of a Q&A. I bet these wrestlers feel like that when they see some YouTuber or even worse, a streamer. Like that was his first appearance on the WWE. Like Logan Paul, he's doing flips. He's got a costume. He's got a story. He's playing into his character. He's being a wrestler. Like he's obviously taken it seriously. It looks like he's been training secretly for months and months and months before he stepped foot in the ring, right? So I imagine he's got the wrestler's respect because he's put the work in, right? Speed just shows up, and because he's a famous live streamer, and I love Speed. I think he's very funny. But if I were a wrestler, I'd be like, oh, so you're big on Twitch, so you just get to step foot in the ring during Royal Rumble? Do you know how many fucking 11-year-olds are crying tears of joy watching this thing? I've been doing this for 2 decades. Yeah, here's the thing, all right? As a consumer, I love that Speed is doing the Royal Rumble. I think that's great. I think it's very entertaining. I think it's, as a businessman, I think it's great business synergy. It's great for Speed. It's great for the WWE. But dude, if I was a professional wrestler who had been eating worms on the road for 20 years and some fucking 20-something-year-old live streamer showed up at the biggest event of the year for the Royal Rumble, oh, you better believe I would be telling him, don't worry, buddy, I'll look after you. But when it came for the real deal, you're getting my shoulder straight into your fucking neck, bro. I'm putting you in the hospital, brother. Welcome to the WWE. Boom! Poor Speed. Feel sorry for the bloke. It was so rough, man. Anyway, I think I'm going to end it there because I don't know how this sounds. So if it doesn't sound very good, I don't want to be tormenting you with poor sound. I'm going to leave it there. Thank you so much. Next episode, I'm back in Melbourne. We'll be back in the studio. And the Patreon episode this week will be recorded from the studio. So that'll be up in a couple of days on patreon.com/Lou Spears. Supporting me really, really helps. You get early access to everything that I do. Yeah, man, we're going to be doing a Patreon episode every single week. I'm not going to miss a single one this year. Not going to miss a single main channel episode. If you saw me in Perth, thank you so much. Please do leave a review on the Perth Fringe website. If you're a certified ticket buyer, you can leave a review. And I'm really loving reading those. So if you could make the effort to do that, that would be so amazing for me. The next shows aren't until April, I think, in Melbourne. Melbourne's next up. I would really buy your tickets now because if Perth is anything to go by, I think Melbourne is going to fill up quick. All right? Thanks so much. I'm Lewis Spears. I'll talk to you on Patreon. I hope you have a shit one. Bye.